the Soccer World Cup has started. And I'm so sorry for Ireland that couldn't qualify for the World Cup. But now that we are talking about Ireland, here we have some facts about that country. Did you know that the independence movement at first acquired an autonomous stage? The pressure in the end of the 19th century was to obtain the home rule, and this to have a particular autonomy for the island. This finally achieved in 1914, but with the exclusion of some Protestant counties in the north after pressure from the useless volunteers. A unionist militia formed to defend the Union with the United Kingdom without Catholic influence. This movement was called the Easter Rising and was led by the Irish volunteers and the Irish armies. The response was terrible. Now, let's continue.
Did you know that Ireland converted into the Christianity, but they didn't accept the power of the Holy See? After this, the Pope Adrian IV gave the authorization to the High King Henry II to invade the territory. The King of Leinster was disposed as the King of Ireland. After this, he was exiled from the Normandy community. And in this part, the king requests for help, and after this, it was when the Norman invasion started in the Ireland civilization. Nowadays, this is recognized as a threat. Do you know something about Book of Kells? This was a book that is very important for the religion and the belief part of Ireland. Why? Because this was made, this is one of the most important calligraphy Latin versions of paragraphs of Bible, and this was handmade. So for this reason it's very important, because it was before the print, when the print got created. Also, the illustrations are incredible. It was a very specific part of art and religion mixed.
You know that Irish nationalism had increased with the Irish Revolution of 1788, but Ireland faced a major political change. In 1800, the laws of the Alliance were approved, which on January 1st, 1801 made the United Kingdom of Great Britain in Ireland. This new state unified both Ireland in the same figure. The war lasted for 3 years until the signing of the Anglo-Irish Treaty in 1921 with the established Irish Parliament. This treaty gave Ireland independence, which they would gain gradually, left Northern Ireland in British hands. This nationalist movement split at this and a civil war ensued, pitting the Irish Free State government against opponents of the Anglo-Irish Treaty. The conflict lasted until 1923.
Now, in addition to that, between 1922 and 1937, the Irish Free State ruled the island, but an official flag was never established. However, the tricolor was always used. When the country joined to the League of Nations, Ireland used the green, white and orange flag. Its use was argument in part to prevent the symbol from being monopolized by a radical guerrilla who opposed the agreement.
The Tudor invasion brought about by England's King Henry VIII definitively changed Ireland's relationships with England. The result was the creation of the Kingdom of Ireland in 1542, which was followed by the complete conquest of the island in the following centuries through different wars. The wars that result in the total control of Ireland by British hands wiped out almost half of the island's population. Henry VIII was the king who broke with the Catholic Church, and this religious problem was strongly present in Ireland. Catholics and Protestant dissenters remained in a position of exclusion from the Anglican ruling class. The Irish guardianship regime began to open and thus move closer to great autonomy. Through the repeal of Poynings Act in 1782, Ireland gained legislative independence from Great Britain. However, the British government continued to have the prerogative to appoint an Irish government without parliament. In 1937, the Constitution of Ireland was approved, which ended British rule by creating a parliamentary system in the country. In this text, the ban of the island is officially established. The Republic of Ireland was proclaimed in 1949 when it stripped the British monarch of the head of state. The flag is still in force.
Well, we're done. We give you some facts about Ireland, and in the next episode we are going to talk about Colombia, another team that couldn't qualify either. Goodbye, guys.